What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, and this is game number 2 between Flower Boys and the Radiant Tengen Gaming on the Dire. I had emphasis on the 2 because the draft so far is exactly the same as game number 1. Literally exactly the same. Oh my god, is it going to be the exact same game? I don't want to watch that game again. That game was too long. I guess the only difference is that we have Phil the Tank filling in for Tengen, and Jordan up, down, left, right, BA, start. I'm assuming that's the rest of his name. That wouldn't fit. That's the contra code, if you did not know. Filling in for Flower Boys, but yeah, so game number 1 went to Tengen. They had the bulk, and well, they cracked through the late game Spectre, which, although it technically was a late game and a Spectre, Spectre wasn't exactly a late game Spectre. Like, let's be honest. She had not the most farm in the world. She was struggling to really be effective in those fights. It was all on the back of the Tidehunter that Flower Boys really did well. And, well, Flower Boys gonna go for a little bit of a different build this time. Gonna go for a Witch Doctor instead of that, I believe, Mirana second pick that they had happen last time. So Witch Doctor, Tidehunter, possibly gonna go all in on the dubstep. Two heroes that get hit pretty hard by the Doombringer. But at the same time, who doesn't, right? So if you try to draft around a Doombringer, you're most likely going to be ending the game in a large amount of sadness. So Witch Doctor, Tidehunter. As far as supports go, you could definitely wait until later to pick up Witch Doctor. So it always kind of pains me to see teams pick up heroes that they could very, very easily, like without a doubt, easily pick up in the 4th or 5th spot. Like, who bans Witch Doctor? I have never seen a Witch Doctor ban. I've been casting for like 3 years, guys, so yeah, Witch Doctor ban is not going to happen. It's not going to be a thing. So they could have waited. They could have picked something a little bit different, and maybe they really want to hide their hand, but when you pick a Witch Doctor, you're kind of showing your hand just a little bit. There's many ways that this could go, but I really like this ban, first of all, from Tengen, and the pick is also really good. Rubik, when you're up against a Tidehunter, it's really hard to stay safe from the Ravage and then steal Ravage. All Tidehunter has to do is slap that E key or whatever Anchor Smash Legacy is, and then his Ravage is secure. So, once you get hit by a Ravage as Rubik, if the Tidehunter plays it correctly, you're not going to steal it, which in Magical Christmas Land, you'll steal it, but that only happens a couple days every year. By a couple of days, I mean 1 day on Christmas. That's the only place where that happens. So if Tidehunter plays his cards right, or if he's not screwed over by his cooldowns or whatever, then the Ravage will be safe in the Flower Boys' hands. But their ban of the Faceless Void and the Naga Siren are also very smart. Getting rid of those giant AoE setups, the Chronosphere with the Ravage, that's devastating. Naga Siren to set up for the likes of Witch Doctor and the Tidehunter is also devastating, because Witch Doctor, he might go for a little bit of healing build. It remains to be seen. I really need to look at their other picks, the Flower Boys, in order to definitively discern what build he's going to go for, the Witch Doctor. But if he does go for Maledict, then Song into Maledict, that's no joke. I mean, you will have to be a little bit closer, so you're a little bit more vulnerable. You might just want to lay down the Death Ward from long range, but even then, you're either guaranteed a good Maledict on 1, possibly 2 heroes, or you get a Bree, and hell, I'm good with either of them, to be quite frank. Flower Boys, their ban out is going to be the Tinker. It was just so difficult for them to deal with in that last game. I mean, banning at this stage, I think it's a little bit more respect than actually being scared of the hero in this particular team comp. But when you get thrashed with the Tinker that badly, like in the last game, you really just gotta respect ban it out. I mean, don't even let them take it, because the last set of bans will definitely hit the Storm Spirit if Tengen get their hands on the Tinker again. So Flower Boys, where do they want to go with this? Are they going to go giant AoE? They could go for an Enigma, and that wouldn't be too terrible. Get a little bit of pushing going. But that's kind of all in, and picking Enigma into a Rubik is kind of suicidal, so they probably should not do that. Do still need a mid lane hero, as do the Tengen side. If Tidehunter and Doom run into each other once again, then Flower Boys again should have a large advantage in that lane, just as we saw in the last game. Witch Doctor, Rubik, and Mirana again. This looks a little bit familiar. I think I've seen this game before. I'm not sure. It might be that I've seen this game before, but I could just be crazy. Could someone double check and see if they've seen this game before, because I think it might be a thing. But either way, Mirana's going to be the pick for Flower Boys. As a late game carry, still not really sold on that hero. though once you have Ravage as well as Maledict, she does get a lot of freedom to do her own thing in the fights and around the fights as well. So Mirana in this particular matchup is not going to be the worst hero for the Flower Boys as far as putting all their gold on. Tengen Gaming, though, this is where we're going to be seeing a different game from last time. Go figure, right? Seeing a best of 3 with 3 different games, or 2 different games, depending on how this one goes. Nature's Prophet is going to be the pickup, so a little bit more split push. Wouldn't be surprised to see Mihai handle that one. I mean, he went to the mid lane last game, but it's a very similar playstyle, Nature's Prophet and Tinker. You don't get as much of a power high as when you play Nature's Prophet as when you play a Tinker, but still the rattiness is there. The Flower Boys see the Nature's Prophet. Do they want to have a preemptive strike against that Nature's Prophet and pick up something like a Storm Spirit? Again, it'll get hit really hard by Doom, but it's actually going to be... yeah, I like that. I like that pick quite a bit, actually. First of all, Vacuum cuts through Sprout. It's probably going to be a more situational usage of the skill, but it is still relevant. Darkseer Wall is a pretty good skill for Rubik to steal, so there's that as a negative. But Darkseer, as far as clearing creep waves, is pretty damn good. Of course, Doom can just eat that Ion Shelled creep, so I still think it'll benefit Flower Boys to run the Tidehunter in the Doom matchup, try to make it so that those lanes happen. Darkseer then will be forced into the mid lane, because you don't want a Darkseer in a tri-lane. The levels are just too important for the hero. It will not go very well. They could lane Mirana in the mid lane again, but that didn't work very well. I would probably stay very far away from that if I were the Flower Boys. So, at the very least, they do have a lot of flexibility in how they want to actually lane these heroes. So we'll see. Probably it'll depend on what the Tengen Gaming side pick for the mid lane. Having the flexibility of going either Mirana or Darkseer is pretty nice, though there aren't many hero matchups. I don't think there are any hero matchups that benefit Mirana in mid lane. Like, she's not a good mid lane, guys. She won't die a lot, but she won't do well, and that's not good enough when you're picking a mid lane hero. Like, Puck won't die, and he will do well, or it will do well. So that's the dream right there. You want your Puck in the mid lane. Mirana, not so much. Tengen Gaming have a pretty balanced team so far. No real one position on their side right now. But Nature's Prophet... Well, maybe... No, Doom is going to be the one... It's the one position Doom, okay. Nature's Prophet off lane, Rubik, Doom, and then Puck in the middle lane. So Tengen Gaming is still looking for a support hero. Sand King, a very smart ban ad, actually. Gonna get rid of a lot of that response AoE. And Woods is really good hero in combination with the Rubik. Who else would be really good here? I mean, Rubik's definitely the best support hero for Tengen to have against the lineup that Flower Boys have for themselves. Getting a silence or another stun will be extremely helpful against the Darkseer. I'm smelling a Disruptor pick. I don't know about you guys, but it kind of smells like Disruptor in here. So if they get that, get the Static Storm going. Tidehunter, Kraken Shell doesn't help them against Static Storm, not a bit. And of course, Darkseer does not like messing around with Glimpse, nor does Mirana, really. So Tengen Gaming, what's going to be the pick? Looking at Flower Boys lineup and what they need, well, it's going to be a Dragon Knight ban. Kind of want to protect that Puck again. Flower Boys can once again go for a OD if they really want to shut down the Puck. I mean, there are matchups where Puck is not favored. I think just going for like the Spectre, like in the last game, that will be a mistake this game. Because Tengen Gaming have a lot more ganking power in this particular matchup. And if they do take it late, then, well, I don't want to see another 60-minute game because that's boring. Boring.
5 seconds remaining.
So Flower Boys, what do they want to do with this lineup? I think putting Mirana alone in a lane, not alone in a lane, with Witch Doctor Tidehunter is holy crap, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, shit, Meepo. There was a very interesting video taken during TI3 where No-Tail said TI4 Meepo is going to be all over the place. And he's pretty much right. This hero has seen a huge rise. Like, before, like 3-4 months ago, the only team that you would see picking Meepo ever is
10
Fnatic.
seconds remaining.
And they would like very infrequently pick this hero. But nowadays, like, well, Fnatic still do it the most, but we've seen Cloud9 do it. I believe Dendi has played it. I think he was standing in for someone, but I don't really recall. But teams are starting to pick this hero up. The only problem with Meepo is laning him. Usually he goes towards the mid lane. And, you know, on paper you're like, well, shit, Meepo mid lane, he's going to get crushed by everyone. And you're not exactly wrong. He's not a strong mid laner. It's the fact that it is the easiest place for him to gain experience without being under threat of dying. And he's like probably not going to die versus Puck 1v1 if it does come to that. And Bidman is playing the Meepo, so mid lane Meepo seems like it's going to be what we're going to be seeing today versus a mid lane Puck. Yeah, Meepo, he might die to the Puck, but really, if he juggles his bottle right, if he has his Meepos, you know, do the poofing thing with the bottle and then kind of abusing the residual fountain healing, this Meepo can stick in the lane pretty well. Now with the Rubik and the Bane, both these heroes are kind of more setup oriented. So Meepo is going to be fortunate in the fact that yes, he will be set up, but as far as taking damage, Brain Sap and Fade Bolt, there are other support heroes that do a lot more damage with a lot less. So Meepo in this game is not going to be too terrible, actually. Like, as far as a Fade Bolt is going to be pretty annoying as in reducing the damage or anything like that on the Tengen side, which is really when Meepo starts to get in a little bit of trouble when he gets hit with that Anchor Smash. But I really hope this Meepo does well just because it's Meepo. Who could say no to this guy? Look at him. He's so... I don't know. He's not adorable. He's not. That's not the adjective I would use to describe Meepo. So he's so ratty and bug-eyed. He was a cute little Meepo. Okay, I'm going to stop that. But Meepo is going to be the pick nonetheless. Whenever you have Meepo on the field, all that lane analysis and everything like that just goes out the window just because Meepo, at this stage of the game, I think actually no, in any game, is just such an X factor. Like, we've seen Meepo support, we've seen Meepo mid lane, Excalibur played him mid lane. He's a hard hero to pin down as far as what he does for the team. He's kind of like a pacing hero, he's kind of like a carry. It's really awkward. I think it's kind of comparable. I would say the best thing to compare him to is probably a Dragon Knight, which is weird to say because he's not tanky, but not in like the Dragon Knight's tankiness, but in the ways that the Dragon Knight contributes to the team. Like, he has the disable, he has a lot of damage, and he probably won't die. And Meepo, I mean, the kind of won't die part is a little bit iffy, yeah, but until I think of a better hero to compare it to, that's what I'm going to go for. Yeah, I don't know. Meepo is a really weird hero, but Tengen with the Bane pickup, Fiend's Grip definitely going to be really good against Mirana as well as the Darks here, but again, they have a lot of setup. Tengen kind of light on the damage, a lot like last time actually. You'll have the farming Doom. I think in this particular game, Doom has got to go for something that's a little bit more smashy than last game. And going for a mech rush is fine and everything, but come late game, they're not going to be able to stand up against this Meepo. They have to be able to cut through this Meepo and cut through him quickly. Brain Sap Fade Bolt will only get you so far once this Meepo starts to pick up his Aghanim and stuff like that. So Tengen, well, they definitely, well, I mean, with this Meepo pick, I don't really know if Tengen had the pushing edge anymore, because Meepo can clear waves really easily. 2 poofs and the creep wave is all but dead. And Nature's Prophet, I mean, he could throw the trees at the tower and whatnot, but when he's throwing them into Anchor Smash, Star Storm, and Meepo poofs, it's just going to end up being food for the Flower side. You know, as weird as this sounds, I think I actually like Flower's lineup because it's Meepo, which is weird, but I feel like the AoE, the support and laning of Flowers is just a little bit stronger than Tengen. Because Doom, Bane, and Rubik, yes, if they catch someone way far out, they can kill them off with a Nightmare and then everything like that, but it's still like a slow kill lane, and I don't really like those kinds of lanes. I mean, of course, also Miles is probably going to go down to the bot lane as the Nature's Prophet, and in that situation, he's not going to have a fun time at all. Gush into Witch Doctor stuff is just going to wreck him. So, yeah, the lanes from Tengen, I don't know. If this Doom was someone else, again, Doom is another hero that I don't really have a lot of respect for. Like, don't ask why. Like, I know Doom is a good hero. I know Shadow Shaman's a good hero. I just don't have respect for them. Yeah, if he was someone else, if he was like a gyrocopter or something, I would say, yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like Tengen's lineup. But Doom, I don't know about that. That's just a personal thing also. Like, I'm probably one of the few guys who would just say, Doom? No, don't want him. Don't want him, although I'll be terrified of him. So there's that. Both sides going to purchase up some smokes, and it looks like everyone's heading towards the top lane. Flowers, they're all smoked up, and we have this guy playing the Witch Doctor. Still not going to say your name, because screw you for having a very, very hard to pronounce name. Bidman is going to be playing the Meepo. Jordan is going to be on the Tidehunter. Flowers, the Buko is going to be on Mirana, and following up the rear is going to be... Jesus Christ, C'est la vie? C'est la vie, that seems fine. Going to be on the Darkseer. On the Tengen side, we have Doom, going to be played by Railgun, played the Bristleback last game. Loki is going to be on the Bane. Mihai is on the mid lane. Puck. Phil the Tank is going to be supporting as Rubik. Last but not least, we have Miles setting up to off lane Nature's Prophet. Got a little bit of restoratives funneled into him. And the first smoke, there's like rarely ever a situation where I see these level 1 smokes actually doing anything. Like, yeah, you get to the enemy jungle faster, but then what? Like, there's not much contingency plan there. So as far as that's concerned, it's pretty much a level 1 disadvantage in the fact that we're going to throw this 100 gold chunk of cash down the drain, and we're going to be okay with it. But we're going to get this game underway. Bidmen, mid lane, it is in fact going to be a Meepo versus Puck matchup. It's going to be, well, first of all, you don't really see Meepo that often, so I don't really know who's going to have the clear-cut advantage. But Puck should have the edge in this lane and be surviving, assuming that he doesn't make any grave errors. He only needs Divided We Stand, and then once he gets that, he could cycle out his Meepos, send one into the easy camp, do stuff like that. But until then, Mihai just can do stuff like this. Pressure the Meepo back. Meepo tries to step up for last hits, or he doesn't even have level 1 poof, so he can't even use the spell to last hit. Then Mihai's just going to start laying into him. Like this. Exactly like this. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot for absolutely free. Meepo's not going to have the best time in lane, but that's not really a problem that Meepo is concerned about. He just really wants to not die, get his levels. So that's high objective for him. Top side, it is an aggressive tri lane. Mirana being set up by the possible paralyzing cast. Tidehunter here as well. Being played as a support role, which is something that is definitely not as common as it once used to be. Though it is still an effective way to play the hero, in my opinion. I mean, once you have this tanky thing running at you, you only need 1 point in Gush to... Whoa. Meepo, calm down, man. There's no orb available for Puck. Luckily for the Meepo, he's going to have his salve forced out very early. But, of course, in the meantime, I missed most of First Blood. That was just a Gush into an arrow with the Paralyzing cast. But I caught the tail end of it, guys. Doom also is getting hit pretty hard in the jungle, okay? Now, for some reason, I thought Doom's on top lane, but Doom's actually jungling, and he might be in a little bit of trouble. Witch Doctor and Tidehunter, they're searching around. Doombringer smells them coming, though. He's going to back up in south. So, yeah, they might run into this Doom, and they still could put a lot of pressure on him. Oh, Railgun smells something coming, and there it is. Although they could just turn around and just lay into him. Dark Green is here as well in the Rubik. Mihai is going to get pressured back a little bit, but everything should be fine. Nobody panic. Everything's okay. Mirana, in the meantime, is going to go toe-to-toe with Loki. Brain Sap dropping Mirana pretty low. Doom actually jungling and having a dual support lane. Definitely far from the standard. But now Meepo has hit the level 3 mark, so he's going to be sending his little Meepos every which way. And Phil the Tank going to run straight into Jordan. Tidehunter could lay a Gush into this Rubik, but there's no real follow-up, so they're just going to be okay with chasing each other every which way. So yeah, Meepo in the mid lane. Level 4 versus level 4 for Puck. 15 for 1 versus the 3 for 0. Not a surprise. I mean, Mihai outlaned Bidman last game pretty handily. Although this game, the matchup is even worse for the Flower side, so there's that. Meantime, top lane Loki already got tagged with an arrow. Now, very late Maledict, but it won't matter because Mirana actually didn't get tagged with an arrow. Paralyzing cast is what set all that up. Mirana barely living out of that situation, claiming another kill in this top lane. And this top lane for Tengen, well, just his last game is getting utterly demolished. Taking a look at the bottom lane, 8 for 2 versus the 14 for 2. And the 8 for 0. So mid lane still this is in favor of Tengen. Now Loki can hit with another paralyzing cast. Nothing to follow up and nothing to bounce for, but Anchor Smash is there. Gonna stun Buko, that telekinesis, and Loki still taking right click damage. The Maledict will do him in if not for the right clicks of the creeps as well as the heroes. So another 3 kills in favor of the Flowers side. And Phil the Tank is up here all alone. Doombringer, I mean, he's gonna have no part in this, but Doombringer jungle is not exactly the best way to have the hero work, especially when he's really the one that you want to have getting a lot of farm. Witch Doctor looking for a potential wraparound gank on this Rubik. It'll be a tower dive, but it'll definitely be a possible kill. I'm just going to chip away at this Rubik just a little bit. So yeah, Flowers actually looking to be in a pretty good position thus far in the game. Their Doom is farming the Tengen side. There's nothing that Flowers can really do about that at this stage of the game. Bottom lane, C'est La Vie has this lane pretty much on lockdown. The way this lane usually works is that Nature's Prophet is able to hold the tower. But an arrow is going to land. Free-handed by Phil the Tank. The cast's going to bounce a whole bunch of times. Loki going to get Maledict as well. Brain Sap onto Buko, and that will bring him down. One more range creep attack. That's going to do it. Loki is going to now try 2v2 as Miles does teleport into the fray. Loki's taking a little bit of damage from the Maledict, but it's only level 1 skill. Another Gush going to fly through, and Witch Doctor is going to try to man-fight it. Will not happen. Here comes the Puck, and he's going to jump forward to his orb, levitate on that Tidehunter. And he's going to go down as well. Tengen very, very swiftly get a 3 kill on this top lane. Of course, it does leave Meepo and the Darkseer to get their own, kind of do their own thing. Railgun wasn't even a part of that either. But Miles coming in and the support's getting a couple of kills. It's 1,000 gold on the Bane. Really, with what Tengen have to do is they have to apply the pressure and do it hard and fast. And if they get slowed up by any more kills, or any more deaths rather, it's going to be really difficult for them. But Loki going to get spotted out, Paralyzing Cast going to get thrown. Star Storm and one right click won't do it. Although Maledict might. Yes, Maledict will. It's only level 2 Maledict. Okay, level 2 Maledict will do it. Yep. Witch Doctor getting all that Maledict value. Miles is getting pressured back really, really far. Nothing really he could really do about this, actually. He could hold the tower because he'll be able to summon his own army. But killing off this Darkseer, that's nigh impossible, especially with the Darkseer holding mana for a vacuum. Meepo hasn't really been doing much of anything as of yet, though. Level 7 is doing pretty well in that EXP per minute chart. Is on the top, in fact, is the highest level in the game. Yeah, Darkseer is not even level 7 yet, and really that's what you would want to have your Meepo. So Bidman doing really well in this middle lane, not being shut down at all. And Puck's level 6, so he's not doing too terribly either. Has made a rotation up to the top, pretty good effect, killing off the Tidehunter. But here's where the problem comes, the fact that Mirana is having a very, very easy time in lane. That's a lot different from the Mirana in last game. And if there's a Meepo on the field, Mirana has a hand of Midas. This is a great way to make a late game Mirana actually viable. If you get a Midas by 6 minutes, that'll make her do a little bit of damage. And if you keep feeding her these kills. I mean, Loki as well as Phil, they're both up here, but there's not much that they could actually do. They try to right click here and there. At the very least, Doom is still getting farmed, but Railgun, he's going to go for Midas. He could possibly be slowed down, though. It looks like Witch Doctor and Tide not interested at all in shutting down this jungle Doom. So Doom, he's getting a little bit of farm, but definitely not the most. I mean, EXP per minute is he's pretty low on the board. Gold per minute around the same place. Phil Tank going to get a lift up onto the Mirana. The Dream Coil is available and is going to catch all 3. Nightmare onto the Witch Doctor. Mihai is going to take an arrow straight to the face. Will get the silence and try to get out of there. Will just barely get tagged with the Maledict. Might actually just slowly tick down from this one. However, the Witch Doctor, meantime, is already going to go down. Puck did go down in the end, resulting in an ultimate 2-for-1 trade in favor of the Tengen side. Puck making another rotation out. Miles was not going to come up to that fight, although if he did come and lay a sprout onto Mirana, that would have definitely been the death of the hero. Meantime, Bidman just continue doing stuff like that. Level 4 poof, as he now breaks the level 8 mark. So divided we stand. I believe it's level 9 you get the next level. It doesn't actually tell you, but if my Meepo knowledge is correct, which it probably isn't, I think it's level 9 that you get the next Meepo clone. Bidman is just farming up an absolute storm. He has 2,200 gold. Wouldn't be surprised to see an Aghanim Scepter as the next item pickup, if he can possibly get that. I mean, that'll be, or a Blink Dagger. That would also be really good, and it's a Blink Dagger, okay. Blink Dagger into Aghanims, level 8 Meepo. This guy's farming up really, really well, and really everyone from Flowers farming up really well in this series so far. This Doom has been a complete non-factor. Maybe this is the reason why I don't respect Doom, because every single Doom in my games, they're like, oh, Jungle Doom, herper derpy derp. And then they do nothing. They just do nothing, and they come out with Hand of Midas, and then they die. It's That's just the way it is, guys. Jungle Dooms are gonna jungle. They don't actually do anything because they can't do anything. They run at you with Scorched Earth. Now he does actually have his ultimate, so we could kind of help out in theory. But still, yeah, he really needs to be riding on the back of someone else, such as Mihai rotating in. He is level 7. And, well, Phil the Tank kind of blowing the gig there. But in the meantime, bottom lane, Bidman can use his Shiny New Blink Dagger to kill off Nature's Prophet with the help of the Darkseer. Sorry for missing that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Top lane, though, going to start to take a couple of hits. Mihai in the area, possibly looking on this Mirana. He can burst him down pretty quickly. But it looks like for now it's not going to happen. Arrow will fly. Oh, that was a little bit close, Mihai. Jesus. A little bit close. They're going to continue working at this tower. No real pushing from the Tengen side. Nature's Prophet still is... Well, there he is, coming from behind as a two-man coil does land. Buko doing a job really, really quickly, as does Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor is going to fall first. Mirana actually leaping over the orb. Might actually live 69 HP down to 4. And Mirana is going to live. Holy lucky, Batman. A little bit luckier on the high-low roll of the auto attacks, and Mirana would have definitely gone down. Puck's going to leave this lane, but with Nature's Prophet here for his extra bulk, plus Railgun, they'll be able to take down this tower. Flowers don't want to defend this, can't defend this, and looks like they're just going to back off. They're going to be content with the pressure they're putting on the other lanes. Nothing really they can really do about this. If Meepo is up there, possibly, but I don't really think Meepo... I think Meepo is okay with just farming right now. I mean, Meepo's getting a ton of it. Has 3rd place in the gold per minute chart. Darkseer already has his mech completed. So Flowers, they could definitely fight if they really wanted to. As it stands right now, I mean, they clearly don't want to just yet.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think because they're probably waiting for Ravage. Rubik gonna steal level 1 paralyzing cast. That's actually some pretty good intelligence. Usually you don't get that benefit. You steal something, you're like, okay, I got a level 4 Dragon Breath, so what? But level 1 paralyzing cast is a pretty big tell. It means that they have to really, really respect the Maledict, because they have seen Voodoo Restoration, but no one actually levels Voodoo Restoration. And Jordan might be in a little bit of trouble. Mihai looking to get in on this fight. Phil the Tank, paralyzing cast, not exactly the best. It's actually going to be top lane, where Bidman's going to jump in and poof the crap out of Bane. That's going to be that, guys. Bane's going to bite the dust. So Flowers have a lot of momentum right now. And Meepo, level 11, has that level 2 ultimate. Blink Dagger up now on Pucks, giving Tengen a little bit of initiation power. But Bidman, wow, there is nowhere safe from that guy. Rubik was at full HP. Blink, poof, 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 and you're dead. And what are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? Teleportation down to the mid lane now. Cass going to fly through. Ravage will miss out the Mihai, but hit squarely onto Railgun. Bidman, net, beat down onto Railgun. 2 hits. That'll be pretty good. Mihai's going to get tagged with an arrow as Buko does jump in. The Meepo does die in the end. Loki going to try to race the Death Ward. He's going to be forced to back off because Death Ward is simply too OP. Mirana without any mana. This might be forced to let Loki go, although there's the enfeebled Loki damage. It's going to be enough. One more right click. There you go. Got him. Mirana's going to kill off the Bane. It's for the Tengen side. 1 down for the Flowers side. And Ravage number 1 being used. Unfortunately, Darkseer, didn't even see him in that fight. Beep level 1 being stolen by Rubik, not the best skill. So Tengen, they might hold on to their tower. Top lane being pushed by Puck, however. The bottom lane, Miles, has been farming up, to his heart's content. Handamitis is up, Phase Boots as well. And Rat Dodo will keep Tengen in this game for a very long time, but it's going to be really, really hard to out-rat a Meepo. He is a rat. He's literally a rat. How are you supposed to out-rat that? Come on. Come on. And also, he almost has the Aghanim Scepter. It's only 2,000 gold away from that one. No recipe on the courier, or no part on the courier, rather. Because everyone knows there's no recipe involved in Aghanims. Bidman giving his Meepos everywhere. As I say that, consolidating them. Ravage is up, another 50 seconds. Tidehunter with not nearly as much farm as last game, but he's not doing nearly as well either. Tengen, they're going to catch a free one out with Witch Doctor. Getting caught in the South River. Mihai's going to drop a coil for that one. And instantly Nature's Prophet Gonna pop some treants. Are they thinking of going into Roshan? It could be a little bit dangerous. I mean, going for a bottom tier 1, I would say, is a little bit safer, actually. Buko can land an arrow onto Mihai, but Mihai can actually turn this one around really well. Orb will fly, jump forward, and the silence will miss. Buko is spotted out, has stars. That won't really do much. The leap is there. Mihai's going to jump forward, and Buko's going to walk right back into the Senshu, get zapped by the Fade Bolt. And Jordan will get Fade gripped, attempted Fade... No, Fade grip. Fiend's grip. My god. In the meantime, Meepo finds a kill on Doom up on the top end. I believe that was a solo kill. So Bidman finding heads all around the map, just collecting them for his collection. I'm just saying stuff that's not making sense, guys. Collecting them for his collection. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, focus. Focus. Last game was long. We might even be seeing a game 3 at the rate this game is going. So we gotta focus. Meepo is pretty damn stacked. He go for his point booster if he wants to right now. Looks like that's where his main Meepo is heading, but we see C'est La Vie can run to fill the tank. But right now, it's a disconnect. Because we need more pauses in these frickin' games. I hate pauses so much. Like, they're great for players because you get to, like, discuss what are we going to do next, guys? What's the next priority? But really, it's just like they have Ravage, they're just farming Meepo. They just chill. And Tengen, they need to be making something happen. They have a Blink Dagger on Puck. He's almost level 11, so level 2 Coil. Not a huge jump of power, just more damage and stuff like that. It's actually not that much at all. 50 damage either way. Man, leveling up Coil sucks. This is a really bad skill to level up. I mean, you get 50 damage, 0.75 stun duration for 50 mana. I don't know. It's not even like plus 100 damage. It's sometimes plus 100 damage if they break it. And usually they don't break it. I never really realized that. That's pretty weird. Like, I would rather have this. Like, I'm not going to start going for level 1 Dream Coil in all my games, but shit, it doesn't really scale that well. And now I'm curious. Okay, we're going to stop looking at ultimates, because that's not going to lead anywhere good. Now this is a good ultimate. Like, have you seen this ultimate? Holy crap. It's a good one. You get to copy yourself, guys. How broken is that? Alright, I guess we do a quick item check, though I don't really think there's anything of note. Yeah, Buko has a Hand of Midas. Still the most fearsome late game carry, though. Railgun does have Hand of Midas of his own, 020. This Doombringer is essentially a non-factor in these games. Has done one Doomcast. That's not going to help anyone. It didn't, actually, because he was already dead at that stage. Mihai has a Blink Dagger, Loki, Soul Ring. Gotta get that mana on the Bane. And nothing else on anyone. So even though Tengen have 2 Hands of Midas, it's going to be a really ratty game if they want to stay in this, because Meepo is getting really frighteningly big right at the moment. He's 1300 HP. He's level 13. His ultimate's almost maxed out. It's dangerous, guys. It is some really dangerous territory that Tengen are heading towards. And, of course, this pause is going to last forever. Once again, guys, this is Dota Legends, being presented by AD2L, so be sure to check them out. AD2L, AmateurDota2League.com, or just search AD2L. I'm pretty sure it's the first thing you see. Actually, I'm going to find that out right now. Let's figure this out as my screen just... Yeah, there's nothing important to look at anyway. Yeah, this is the first thing that comes up on a Google search. So, search AD2L, AmateurDota2League.com, get all the information. This is the Legends part, so these teams are the cream of the crop as far as competing in AD2L. Because who wants to watch anything less? Oh my god, guys. I don't even know. I don't even know. So, how about that situation with visas and CIS? That's some pretty weird stuff, isn't it? It's like, well, guess you can't try to compete for $10 million. Meepo's ult goes 3, 10, 17, by the way. Thank you, Piglet44. You could tell how much experience I have with Meepo. Like, I have no friggin' clue, and it doesn't tell you either. 3, 10, 17. Levels by 7. That's kind of weird. Alright. We have a request to check out the experience graph. Still in favor of flowers, although that is a very weird shape. Holy crap, I've never seen something that weird. I guess it's just like Hand of Midas being picked up and used a couple times. But how do you even have a shape like this? Usually it's just up or down. This is like full-on parabolic x squared kind of stuff. That's beautiful. That is beautiful, guys. It's a work of art right there. Really, the Meepo is a large reason why Flowers is holding such an experienced lead at this stage in the game. Okay, quick look at the EXP per minute. Meepo's right on top with 659, as you would expect. Unfortunately, Tidehunter, Witch Doctor, not really getting the levels that they need. Although Tidehunter, level 7, has a really big nuke in the Gush. 5 armor reduction. When you combine that with Geostrike just beating down. It actually doesn't tell you if it's physical or magical. Doesn't even tell you anything. I think it's research time, guys. We're going to figure this out, because I clearly don't know enough about Meepo. So we're going to learn. Let's figure out if that's magical or physical. I feel like it's physical, but I don't know. Geostrike? Damage magical. Damn it, I'm wrong. Well, I mean, you win some, you lose some. How the hell am I supposed to know it's magical? Because it goes through BKB, right? I believe it goes through BKB, so it's like, it should be physical, because magical will get blocked or whatever. Hell, this doesn't even tell you either. Do these skills just not tell? Yeah, damage magical. Meepo is the exception to the rule. It's all damage magical, damage physical. What the hell? It should damage in both. Yeah. It doesn't tell you. Damage magical, damage magical, damage magical, damage physical. Magical. Wow, guys, someone call up Ice Frog. Tell him to get on this shit. The people must know what type of damage Meepo does, because there's no way to tell. Like, ability passive physical, more like it. Or magical. It's magical. Rip Tidehunter. Tidehunter is no longer a part of this game. But good news, guys. Meepo just got to level 17. And instead of another Meepo, he spawned a Tidehunter. Now that is quite the surprise. So Meepo, congratulations on your achieving of 3 levels. Unfortunately, or 4 levels. Unfortunately, the Tidehunter isn't also level 17, so he's going to be falling a little bit behind the rest of you rats. But Bidman's going to jump forward, going to go for Miles, who's now caught in the net. Going to try to sprout net. Poof, damage will do it, actually. In the meantime, mid lane, back onto Loki. There's the... No, Cask was already used, actually, as was Arrow. Everything was dodged, apparently. Tidehunter in the middle of everything. Really, Tidehunter is not the worst hero you could have disconnect. You press Ravage, you gush someone, and then you let him smash things. That's what he does. But Mihai, as well as Phil the Tank, wrapping around, put down an Observer Ward that is going to, I believe, reveal where the... Yeah, they do see exactly where everyone from Flowers is. So they're going to try to wrap around and fight, but I don't really know if they want to do that versus a Ravage. That seems like a pretty dangerous prospect to me. Bidman's going to just keep pushing out the top lane. Doom is going to come up here, but this is a very dangerous move by Doom. Well, Railgun, he does have support in the Nature's Prophet. Bidman could actually just turn and fight if he wants to poof all of his Meepos in. But no, one Meepo is going to get isolated. Will get focused down. Railgun going to drop pretty low pretty quickly. Imagine if Meepo is focusing him the entire time. Meepo is going to go down, but it is at the cost of a tier 1 tower. Gush onto... Wow, you could dodge Gush. It is a projectile that's just in. And Jordan going to get coiled. And Tidehunter... Oh, wow. The level 2 would have done so much. Look at it go as we see Loki going to get stunned up. Back up. Vac somewhere? No Vac. No Vac. Boone, dinosaur statue. Get that reference? You should. Alright, guys. So Tidehunter is just gone, apparently. So that's awkward. I was gonna say that Flowers are in a really good position, and they are, because they have this Meepo who's almost finished with his Aghanims, but no Tidehunter. Huh? Man, I'm just full of references that are pretty terrible, but are references nonetheless. Like, oh shit, I just closed my Twitch stream. I'm gonna put that back up. Yeah, no Tidehunter is a problem. What they have to do is kick Envy and win TI. Okay, I'm gonna stop now, but there's actually just nothing happening in this game, so excuse me. Buko's gonna get initiated upon. There's the silence to open things up. Unfortunately, Rubik a little bit too slow, and the cast is gonna bounce a couple of times. Arrow will fly, fill a tank, boldly taking that one for his ally, but unfortunately, he will go down. Nature's Prophet picking up a Maelstrom, gonna be forced to go into that right-click roll, because no one else is gonna do it. And Meepo's tired of microing this Tidehunter. He's here, guys. The Meepo. He doesn't have to micro again. Ay. Alright, so right now Tengen are playing pretty much without a Doom. Got one gank off on the Meepo, which is something. But Meepo is like far from out of it. He's 5-2-1. He's farming heads, and he has an Aghanim Scepter. So we did spawn that fourth little Meepo guy. God damn it. Every time I go to my other screen, that does that. I have to figure out how to stop that, but I know realistically I won't. Come on, Jordan. You have enough money for a Blink Dagger. Now that's a pleasant surprise. Like disconnecting for a little bit in the game. Usually when you come back, all your items are gone and your teammates are dead. Usually. But in this game, he comes back and he has friggin' Blink Dagger money. Look at that. The value. 17 minute support Blink Dagger is not too terrible. Witch Doctor, he's been buying most of the wards, I guess, so Tidehunter's been saving for the most part. Rana, Drums, Hand of Midas, Power Treads. Not the most, but still pretty balanced as far as stats, movement speed. I mean, that's what happens when you go for Drum Treads. You get a very balanced build. But really, it's this Meepo that's the most terrifying hero on the map at the moment. Can 1v1 anyone, can probably even 1v2 with the best of them. Especially since he has his Aghanim Scepter now. Everyone has very similar amounts of HP. 1200 on this Meepo, I mean, that's a lot. How much does Darkseer have? Less. Does Doom have more? Doom barely has more. So, there's that. Well, that doesn't matter because Doom only has 1 armor anyway, so. Hallelujah! The Tidehunter lives. The Tidehunter returns from the deep in order to lead his team to victory. What a scrub. Still needs power to play Dota. I've been playing this game without power for years now. He just has to learn how to do it. This Tidehunter clearly not as good as I am at playing without power. You need the power glove. It's so bad. Everyone's just gonna heal up. Maybe even use a mech after that Wrath of Nature. Okay, this game has got to stop. Yeah, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I seem to have no right edge of my screen, because that's where my other monitor is. I don't know how to lock it here. Usually it locks on its own, but... Okay, well, Tidehunter, under cover of Moonlight Shadow, thinking about going for this top tier 1 tower. But Tengen instead just going to exert their map dominance. You can see the map control that they have. Pretty much this line is under their control. Like, this is all Flowers, and then, like, this is all Tengen. So Flowers definitely have more control of the map at the moment. And with Meepo being able to jump every which way, you would expect that to happen, though that's even against Nature's Prophet, who, you know, he's doing his best to get himself a little bit more map control for the team. But these wards being placed, Flowers feels so comfortable in just going super aggressive into the enemy half of the map right now. With good reason. They have a Ravage and a farmed Meepo. If you land a Ravage, oh, mid lane Railgun is gonna get completely demolished. He panic dooms, but double damage is OP on Meepo. It really, really is, because look at this. It's like quad damage. What the hell? That's just not right. That is not right. Actually, it's like 8, right? One got purged off because of Doom, and then everyone else gets double. You have 3 doubles. 6. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. Looks like it will be a tier, well, 2 towers for 1. 2 for 1 trade. Bottom lane, though, Meepo's going to teleport right in. Does he want in? He's going to get silenced by Mihai, who's now in a little bit of awkward position. Drops a 2-man coil, runs in the other direction. Gush will this time land on the puck, and the coil snap will break onto Tidehunter, but blink forward from Bidman. Where's the poof? Mihai is going to get beaten down. We'll dodge all the poofs, which is pretty cool, but he dies anyway. And now I think the crackback from Flowers is going to take the entirety of the bottom lane, or at the very least, we'll claim a tier 1 on the bottom side. It should, at least. I mean, Tengen, they can try to defend this, but they really lack the AoE to both clear this wave and damage the Meepo at the same time. Their chip damage is non-existent, and this creep wave is going to be at full HP. Level 1 Voodoo Restoration, not exactly the most impressive skill. 16 versus 40 is a pretty large difference. But with Meepo leading the charge at full HP very comfortably, blowing up the creep wave before any of their friendly creeps can even get hit, yeah, this tower is going to drop like a rock. And Meepo picks up his boots travel, selling off his tranquils. Don't need that stupid regen. Need more global map control. Tower number 1 will go down. Mihai doesn't have a coil if he wants to jump in. Probably won't behoove him to do so. And train rolling. The pain train stops for no one. Bidman is driving it as he does hit the level 16 mark now. Where is... well, Darkseer's right in the middle of everything, so it has that mech aura. And Moonlight Shadow. As they do spot out Mihai. Do they actually want to go in on this? There's no real good target, however. They see Loki. Arrow. Arrow will land. Loki is so very dead right now. Jump forward by both C'est La Vie as well as Buko. Loki and Phil will both get with a Ravage. Gush to finish them off. Not the best use of Ravage, hitting onto 2 supports. But if it opens the door for a tier 2 tower, then so be it. Hell, with the 2 supports down, they could even go for a tier 3 or slide mid and take that tower. Looks like Meepo is going to get right on that. And Meepo could actually get a couple kills here. He's going to go right for Miles. Miles instantly down to a third of his HP. Going to try to sprout himself. That won't do it. Mihai is going to try to run away, but one Meepo is free of that net. And going to chuck a couple of nets of his own. The Geo Strike really slowing him down. There's another blink soon enough. Blink forward, and Mihai is so very dead. 1 arrow from Mirana, and that's going to be that. There's 3 down for the Tengen side, and the tier 2 tower in the mid lane looking like it's going to be the next thing to drop for the Tengen side. In the meantime, Bidman can use that global map control that you get by being Meepo in order to push out the top lane as well, because why push one lane when you can push all of the lanes? It just makes no sense, guys. Meantime, C'est La Vie, I don't know what his plan was here, but I can tell you one thing, it was a bad one. He was going to jump in for a huge amount of poofs, though. Instantly Rubik drops. Instantly Loki drops. Here comes Railgun, but that's not a winning fight. One Bidman is going to go down, actually. So Bidman does bite the dust. Railgun going to walk away. Death Ward not quite enough to kill him off. Here comes Miles teleporting in. Going to kill off the Mirana. Going to kill off the Tide. It's a full 5-man wipe from Flowers. From Tengen onto Flowers. Somehow that happened. Meepo took a lot of damage, actually. I wish I could see the Meepo kill recap. I feel like he just took like way too much damage. That was only the Doom focusing him. I mean, that was a Shadow Blade hit, so that kind of hurts, and a stomp, so there's no retaliation. So there was that to consider. Meepo's still firmly on. Oh wow, they fixed the net worth for Meepo. Cool. Now fix the damage type, please, Valve. Tengen take a really good fight. Maybe Flowers a little bit too over-aggressive. I mean, clearly the Darkseer was a little bit over-aggressive. Just a little bit, and now Vlad's being picked up by the Meepo. Not really an item that you see all that often, but still the lifesteal, the armor. Auras, what more could you want? Roshan does go down, and Flowers is going to be forced to concede that one to the Tengen side. Meepo is disconnected. Oh my God, guys. Holy crap. Why can't they just play? Roll and pause time is. It's a good thing, though. I'm not the only one who's getting pissed off. It's okay, it's only an oboe. Let's be honest, no one cares about the oboe player. The only people who care about oboe players are people who can't make it as clarinet or flute players. Oh, orchestral shots fired. I'm just kidding. Oboe is pretty cool. But it's like the cello. It's kind of like overshadowed by the violin. No. It's like the viola. Overshadowed by the violin and the cello. Nobody cares about viola. They never do. It's the truth. Doom gonna try to get caught out with an arrow, but there's pretty good dire ward coverage. I mean, observer sentry, pretty good. It's okay. And Meepo, well, he's pushing out the top lane with 4 of his clones, and the real one sticking with the rest of the team. They want to go for this mid tier 2 tower, and they should be able to claim it pretty easily. They have Ravage this time with a blink, so Tidehunter will get a good one out, almost guaranteed. Follow that up with Meepo and his poof barrage. Whoever's going to get caught, if anyone does get caught out, they're going to be in for a lot of pain. Bidman's still pushing out the top lane in the meantime. Wrath of Nature trying to weaken everyone up, but with Voodoo Restoration pumping out that so much healing. And then Moonlight Shadow, which will not surprise anyone. However, we'll keep top lane safe for just a little bit longer. Railgun is unable to see any of these Meepos, although the Meepos see him. The Meepos see him. They're gonna go. Well, the poofs, he fucks up the poof. And the nets. Bidman, what's going on, man? No, get him! Oh, it's too late, because here comes the cavalry. Bidman has lost his opportunity, and he's going to get absolutely destroyed, but the Ravage is going to come in. Hits onto 2 as the puck does manage to avoid it. Vacuum back into a wall. Will kill up the Doombringer, but that's only the Aegis. Miles will try to slip away. That won't do it. Puck going to try to orb out. He will get away a little bit, but will there be any follow-up? There's the Maledict, and Puck now is going to find some support in Loki as well as Phil. There's the Gush onto Phil, and, well, it's only the Darkseer Tide as well as Witch Doctor. It's a 3v4, so Flowers, they really can't afford to stay here for much longer. Witch Doctor does go down. C'est la vie. He's going to get Nightmare up. Will just blink out and out of there. And Tidehunter will get Brain Sapped for the triple kill on Loki. And, I said all that stuff about Meepo being a really devastating hero and stuff like that. It helps when you land your skills, and it helps when you actually do something before you get brought. If you just get brought down without doing anything, it usually doesn't help that much. Now I'm shooting all these shots, but I cannot play a Meepo at all. So Bidman is a vastly superior Meepo player than I am, but that's the beauty about casting a game, is that it doesn't matter, because you have an ideal of how to play the hero, and you could say, oh, he messed up, he missed his skill, whatever, what a noob. I usually don't say what a noob, but you could say he messed up. And you're right, and that's fine. Doom will get spotted by the Meepo. Net number 1. He does have Shadow Blades, and he will survive. More nets. They're not going to hit. Doom, luckily, does escape with his life. Has a BKB in the works, but as I said before, BKB doesn't do that much against Meepo with that Geo Strike. But now I'm second guessing myself because I think it's magical. I'm pretty sure it works on BKB targets, but the revelation that it's the skill of magical damage, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know what to believe. Someone tell me what to believe now, guys. Well, it's 23 for 19. Ravage is going to be up another 45 seconds. Flowers is going to be avoiding fights as much as possible until that Ravage is back up. In the meantime, Net Worth, now being led by the Nature's Prophet, has gone for, well, this is about as Admiral Bulldog as it gets, except for the Hand of Midas. Blink Dagger with the Maelstrom. Lots of mobility on that Nature's Prophet, plus the ability to clear waves in a flash. It's a good build. It's a very effective build. It's not really intuitive, but hey, whatever works, right? Meantime, top lane being pushed back pretty hard by the Tengen side. They probably know that the Ravage is up soon, if not up right away. And, well, yeah, they're just going to back off. So, holy crap. There's a Blink Dagger Dagon on this Bane. That's how Loki got a triple kill. Or, I guess that's what he did with his triple kill money. That's all blood money, Loki. You should feel bad about yourself. But Bane's actually doing pretty well. And a stolen Moonlight Shadow. Oh my god, Flowers are not going to see this one coming. There's a Sentry Ward from the Dire. There's a grip, and instantly the Witch Doctor springs into action. Going to try to lay down the cast, but it's a little bit too late, because already, Champ is already down. There's the Ravage onto everyone with the dubstep. Somebody play Reptile. It's too late because, well, it's actually still going. Railgun's going to take an absolute beating. It's 3 down, and Witch Doctor going going to collect in a big way. Miles is going to get spotted out. Buko's going to work him down. Sprout, a little bit too late. It's a triple kill for Jordan this time. As Tengen get almost completely wiped, Puck does manage to barely escape. And holy crap, that death ward is the real deal. And the best part is, it's going to get even realer. Even more real? Even realer sounds better. Once this Witch Doctor picks up his Aghanims, which is just 1,000 very, very short gold away. Oh man, guys, we're going to be seeing some crazy shit this game. Like that. Puck. Puck got absolutely destroyed. Again. Well, I mean, that wasn't, I guess 4 times is again. I actually do like these Dagon picks up from the tank. Normally, people say, well, how do I counter a Meepo? And then always was one guy's like, well, you know, you could just pick an Earthshaker and stuff like that. And Earthshaker's good against Meepo because you get the Echo Slam, but really the best way is just find one Meepo target and then blast him. Just like fire all cannons at that one Meepo and then just kill him. You don't need AoE. Who needs AoE? Just blast that one Meepo so that the enemy doesn't have a chance to react. So just like arm all the cannons so that Meepo doesn't do that and just eats your tankiest hero alive for breakfast. Now at 3,700 gold, probably a Reaver is what he wants to go for next, but Loki and Phil, you gotta watch out because Meepo is very, very close to you. And Bidman wants blood. Bidman is on the hunt. We see right here in our natural habitat, a Meepo. And unfortunately for them, the creep wave is being cut off by Nature's Prophet, so they can't make a push in this bottom lane. Mid lane push is a little bit more viable, though the Observer wards from the Dire pretty damn good right now, keeping an eye on all of the Radiant heroes. Ravage will be up in 20 seconds, and Pipe is actually completed. Courier died. I don't know when the Courier died. Buko's going to drop pretty low. Vacuum back into a whole bunch of poofs, and Rubik is going to get destroyed. Mihai also going to get caught out. Does lay a pretty good coil. We'll get a whole bunch of snaps on the Meepo. Well, actually, that was just right on the edge of the range. Meepo's going to go to town on this tier 3 tower with the Witch Doctor's aura keeping everyone fairly healthy. Creep wave? What creep wave? There was no creep wave here. Doom is going to throw his ultimate on Tidehunter. Fiend's Grip onto Bidman. Arrow will fly through. Will get hit by something. Bidman not dropping low at all, though. Loki going to get a little bit of the dubstep, and Miles now on the run. Railgun calls GG. Miles cannot survive the onslaught of rats. GG has been called, guys. That, of course, means the series is tied 1-1. And we're going to be moving on to a deciding game number 3. This one nice and short. Hopefully the next one will follow suit. Once again, guys, this is Dota Legends presented by AD2L. Be sure to check them out at AmateurDota2League.com if you like the casting. I am Mike Loris. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Loris, twitch.tv/Mike Loris, and everything else like that. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to be moving on to game number